Hello, good day, and welcome to Sports Clinic on Niger Live TV. I'll be your doctor for today. My name is Appah, and I have with me, I wouldn't call them my patients because they are more than that. I'm not trying to undermine anybody, but they're more like very big surgeons or whatever you want to call them. But let me start from someone I respect a lot. I respect both of them, and I still respect them, but he is the CEO of Sports Tribe, and for short, FJ, but if you want to send him money, Joseph Francis. Good to have you, Joseph.
It's a pleasure being here.
Okay, I also have with me the one that is always happy, is always glad to be here. Maybe you would hear him, maybe after I mentioned his name, maybe he might just say glad to be here. Glad Yakie, good to have you.
It doesn't sound cliche, but I'm always glad to be here.
Yeah, always glad to be here. Well, we're all glad to be here. But before we start, I'd always, please just beg, please just do well to click that like button. And if you've not subscribed, do well to subscribe to this channel. It's very important. Please just try. Before we start, just try. Just click it. And let's start from the home front. That is talking about the NPFL, where we'll see matches in match day 31 of the NPFL. So we'll talk about all that. We'll talk about the table, the title fight, and the relegation fight too. But let me reel out the fixtures that we will see. We'll see Wiki Tourists take on Barao FC. That match would be played tomorrow. Would also on Sunday we'll see Kano Pillars versus Eyimba. Plechi United will take on Bayelsa United. Katsina United will take on Shooting Stars. It will be Kun Khalifat at home to Ikorodu City. Enugu Rangers at the Cathedral will entertain El Kanami Warriors. Nasarawa United on Monday will be at home against Rivers United. Abia Warriors will be at home too against Niger Tornadoes. We'll see defending champions Remo Stars versus Kwara United. Warri Wolves will take on Bendel Insurance. But before we talk about the fixtures for this weekend, yesterday we saw one match where Niger Tornadoes defeated Rivers United by 1-0.
Well, a very disappointing performance from Rivers United yesterday. For Rivers, they had that lengthy, large number of outstanding matches, about 4 outstanding matches, and I expected them to at least extend the points between them and them and Enugu Rangers to at least 5 points, but they failed to really capitalize on that, and then their loss against Niger Tornadoes yesterday was quite disappointing because for Rivers United, it seemed like they found some form. They were scoring goals because they've been criticized for failing to score more than 1 goal in their games, and for back-to-back games they were scoring 3 goals. And it seemed like the goals they were supposed to score in the other games, they had already scored it in all those matches. So they seem to have fallen. And then their next game is against Nasarawa United. It's going to be very difficult for them. I don't really fancy them to get anything from even a draw. I don't really fancy them. And then for Enugu Rangers, they are playing against, you want to say, an easier opponent. So I want to fancy them to get it done against
El Kanami Warriors.
El Kanami Warriors.
Yes,
so I fancy them to get the job done. So seems like we will see Rivers United leapfrogged this weekend.
Okay, and Francis, let me bring you in. And since Glad is talking about Rivers United and the likes of them, let's talk about the title race. Defending champions, Remo Stars, not doing very well. We'll come to their relegation matter, but at the point it looks like it will be Rivers United title to lose. At the point, they were 4-5 points ahead and having about 4 outstanding games or so. But after playing all these outstanding matches, and now everyone has played the same number of games, and they are only ahead of 1 point against Enugu Rangers, you still feel like they will come the end of the season, clinch this trophy, or we might just see Enugu Rangers leapfrogging them to win the trophy?
Well, for some of us who have been following the league for some years now, we knew that this was going to happen. Same thing happened last season when they had so many outstanding games, and some persons were like, okay, Rivers United will go with the league title.
Yes.
But then they lost it to Rainbow Stars, and I'm not surprised. It can't be having too many outstanding games.
Yeah.
You get caught up at the end, and we saw that so far all the outstanding matches, they've not won anyone.
Yeah.
And yesterday they had the chance to extend their lead. Now they lost. So which means the Enugu Rangers will be very, very happy, knowing full well that if they win their game, there's no guarantee that Rivers United can win all their game.
Yes.
So they've now succeeded in bringing Enugu Rangers into the title race proper now. So
yes.
I tell you, those at the Cathedral will be very, very happy with what happened yesterday. And who knows? I wanted Rivers United to win.
Yeah.
Of course, you know why I wanted them to win. But Enugu Rangers, they are now looking very good to win the title. Just 1 point. We know what happens in the NPFL.
Yeah. One point, very important. And also, let's talk about Bielsa United on the road against Plateau United. And Francis, I'll start with you. I know you follow all the teams in the NPFL, not minding if it's Bielsa United, Rivers United, or Warri Wolves. So you're not sentimental in your analysis. I know that, but Plateau United, they didn't start the season very well, but after that switch or change in the coaching room, you see them now sitting a bit comfortable, not really comfortable, but at least they'll prefer to be where they are than maybe where the likes of Remo Stars are. I still tip them to be in the relegation fight, but taking on Bielsa United, how do you see that match? Will it be easy for Bielsa United? They've been on the road and gathered points on the road before, but against Plateau United, they have a former player there that's talking about Tarabina. Yeah. Will it be a warm welcome for them, or it's more like go back home with no points?
It's tough. Bielsa United, I don't know what happened. They started very well against Shooting Stars. We all remember that game. Yeah. When the former manager, the former Bende Insurance coach was there, Monday DK was there. They won that game. Yeah. And in the second away game too, they had a very good result. But so far, they've been off and on throughout this season. Yeah. And they are fighting for their lives. But I think they are 13th on the log now. Yeah. We know how the league is for Bielsa United. You know how the league is. One defeat and you're back to where you're coming from. Yeah. One win, you're going up again. Yeah. So going away to Plateau United with Benga Ogumbote in charge, it's difficult. We saw how Bielsa United struggled to win their last game against Warri Wolves. So I don't see Bielsa United getting anything from that game. Honestly, if being honest.
Yeah, taking sentiments.
Plateau United also need to survive.
Yes.
And they are playing at home. Yes, this season we've seen away wins, but in the league, this MPFL, when you are playing at home, you must try as much as you can to get the 3 points.
Or at least a point.
Yeah. If it's a point, that's a point game for Bielsa United.
Okay.
In this scenario.
Okay, glad. let me bring you into the relegation fight where class captains Kun Khalifat FC, at the point they said they were tired of the league, and because of a particular judgment that will not do again. But I was surprised that I think after like 3 hours or so they came out with another club statement. Now no worry, we will still continue. But they are kissing the basement of the league, followed by defending champions Remo Stars. In fact, I'm even embarrassed to have defending champions to Remo Stars because they are not looking like or playing like defending champions. I know people are making excuses that it's because they sold most of their best players, but they are a selling club and you should be prepared for this situation. So it shouldn't be new to you. They've always been a selling club before. So then followed by Kwara United on 18th, then Wiki Tourist on 17th position. But the likes of Bielsa United, Plateau United, even Katsina United on 12th, they are not far off the relegation waters.
And that's the exciting thing about the NPFL. If you look at the title race in England, I think Wolves, bottom side Wolves are less than 20 points, while Arsenal are already like 70 points. The margin is huge. Yeah. But you look at the NPFL, the sides in the mid-table are just about 7 points above the team, the 7 points above the team in the bottom. Yeah. So anybody can drop from the mid table to the bottom. Anybody can drop. Anybody can escape it. If you can win 3 to 5 matches consecutively, you can leapfrog the other teams and even jump as high as 7th in the NPFL, even though you're bottom of the table. So it's just a very complicated battle at this point. And for Bielsa United, just 2 points above the drop zone, it's still a little bit tricky. It's not the position where you want to be in as a Bielsa United supporter. But so far, I don't know, with the teams that are, based on the form and the consistency of teams so far, it seems like Remo Stars, Kun Khalifat, I don't know, Remo Stars, and the fact that they are defending champions, it will be very unfortunate for them to be relegated. But for Kun Khalifat, from the beginning, it seemed like they were not really ready to even play in the NPFL. So I think they've already accepted their fate. But for Remo Stars, there's a tendency that would see them relegated, and considering the fact that they aren't even playing their games at the Remo Stars stadium, so that could also play against them, because you know how the home factor, how massive it is in the NPFL. But the other teams is just really difficult saying who would go or who would stay.
Okay, I'd actually agree with you on Remo Stars, because even before they got to this level, you were skeptical about them, and you're trying to predict that. There's one team that you see going down the way things are going. For now, you were saying that Remo Stars is one team. I didn't want to agree with you then. I felt like no, now this is on a big shoe. There's no need. Defending champions being relegated, and someone had to remind me that it has happened to Bielsa United before. So it's no news or no breaking news if it should happen to Remo Stars. But let's keep our fingers crossed. And I don't know, for Bielsa United versus Plateau United, I don't know, I feel like that game, that result might be a bit surprising, and maybe an advantage to Bielsa United. I feel like there might be a bit of a point. Maybe 3 is me being too selfish. But I don't know, I feel like Bielsa United might get a point. I'm not trying to be sentimental, but even if I am, please forgive me. But guys, let's move forward. Let's move forward and talk about the Carabao Cup, where it has gotten to the final stages. For some people, you talk about the Carabao Cup and you can rule out Grimsby, what they did to Manchester United. And that was one of the iconic moments of this season's Carabao Cup. But we'll leave all that. But if you still want to banter about that, you can do that. Of course, I'm a Man U fan, and he's a Chelsea fan. Joseph Francis is a Chelsea fan. I'm glad Yakie is a Liverpool fan, so I know they might want to add a bit of banter and talk about Manchester United and talk about Grimsby down at their business. Nothing concern me. But I'm here to talk about the final between Arsenal and Manchester City. So guys, please, if you talk about Manchester United or mention Grimsby, they go off on a mic. So let's talk about the final. Do you see, Joseph, start with you. Do you see Arsenal getting one in the final over Pep Guardiola? And for Pep Guardiola, it's a rare thing for him to get to a final and lose. I'm not saying it hasn't happened before, but it doesn't happen every time. But with this Manchester City squad, I feel like it is the right time for Arsenal to show that before the Premier League that they might eventually win. That no, let's show them, let's have a psychological advantage by winning them in this one before eventually clinching the Premier League title.
The way Arsenal are going, I just want to go back. I remember 2001 season, 2001-2 season. Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah.
They were having a very great form, coached by Top Muller then.
Yeah.
Everybody expected them to go all the way. But as the season was ending, it began to crash.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes, we've seen what Arsenal have done so far. They look at it, like I said, they can go all the way, win all trophies that they are in so far.
Yeah.
But for Manchester City side, they know that if you are not winning the league, don't allow Arsenal to beat you to the Carabao Cup final. Yeah. Because as things stands, I might still face City again in the FA Cup final. So how sure are you that you can win that one? This is the first one we are seeing. Yeah. The league looks like it has gone off City's hand at the moment, but I think City has to fight. City has more in this game than Arsenal. They have to show that you may be topping us, but we are still that Man City that you know. So it's going to be a tough one, but when you look at the squad depth of Arsenal, I think that's where they are just the better side over any other team in the league so far this season. Even when they rest players, just look at the players that are starting, and it's going to be a tough one. I just feel that Arsenal, they might just nick it, because I was checking their record at Wembley in the past finals. They've been very good actually. I think the last time they played in the final, any of the final, I think they lost against Chelsea. Yeah, against Chelsea. Although their last Carabao Cup final, they lost to City. Yeah, they've been very good at Wembley. So I just want to give it 60 to Arsenal, 40 to City. But I won't be surprised if City wins. But looking at how far they've come so far, I feel they might just nick it.
Okay, and I'm glad for Mikel Arteta. He has not won a trophy for the past 5 seasons or so. He hasn't, apart from that FA Cup trophy that he was able to win in his first season.
2020.
After that, it has been one heartbreak or the other. So you think that he might just get this one against City. And for Manchester City, it's a 2 question. For Manchester City, you think after winning this one, come the end of the season, if this is the only trophy that they should win, would you call it a good season for Man City? Would you call it a good season for Pep Guardiola?
For their standards, it is a disappointing season, regardless of how if they win the Carabao Cup or not. For Man City, you know how dominant they've been, winning the Premier League 4 times in a row. So it's something that they're used to, and it's regardless of what happens, it's a failed season for them. And then for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, I really do fancy them. I've always been beating my chest on other every avenue I get the opportunity to talk about how good they are. If you look at the most consistent team in the Premier League this season, love them or hate them, you have to talk about Arsenal. The style of play they play, their football,
Yeah, might be controversial.
A lot of people this season they are complaining about the fact that maybe their football is not as entertaining, but 2-3 seasons ago they were playing entertaining football without evidence. So now they feel like they just need to get over the line with regardless of how it happens and regardless of how they play. So they are not really big on the performance, but the results is what really matters. And you look at this encounter itself, you look at the form of the two teams. Arsenal have been more consistent of the two, and for Manchester City, I don't know the quality of players that they had then, and maybe when you had the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva was in top form then as well, and Foden, all the players that are still there, they've dropped form as well, and for Arsenal, they've strengthened in every department, and I really want to fancy Arsenal to get the job done against Man City. It's going to be tough. The only obstacle that they have is just their mindset, because Mikel Arteta, sometimes he has this, should I say, he's very conservative in this kind of games. He might go in with a defensive approach, but if they go there and express themselves, I think they would even overwhelm Man City.
Yeah, and I'd want to agree with you, but also someone has to go with Manchester City, and I'm not sticking my neck out. I'm not against Arsenal fans, please. It's not like that, but come on now. It's Pep Guardiola. It's Manchester City, so I don't know why I feel like I'm tilting towards Manchester City winning this trophy. They are the masters of the Carabao Cup. You want to give it to them, and I feel like they will get this one, lose the Premier League, and maybe lose the FA Cup. I don't care, but I feel like Carabao Cup final, with everything that has happened to them this week, dropping points against Nottingham Forest, losing in the Champions League to Real Madrid, with everything that is happening, and then dropping points again against West Ham United. I feel like they might want to just at least have something positive to celebrate about. So let's see how things pan out, but I'm not ruling out Arsenal. Let's move forward and let's talk about the English Premier League. Yeah, some might want to call it the best, the most competitive league in the whole world, but Champions League made us to understand that most 6 of your teams or so in the English Premier League qualified, and look at what happened. Only 2 were able to scale through, and the rest were disgraced. I'm not trying to have a go at Chelsea, because Francis is looking at me right now like he's frowning his face and looking at me, but come on now. I'm not talking about Chelsea here, but let's talk about the fixtures that would be played in the English Premier League, and we'll see tonight it will be Bournemouth versus Manchester United. Brighton will entertain Liverpool. See at Craven Cottage. Fulham versus Burnley. Everton will take on Chelsea at the Dickinson Park, not Goodison Park anymore, and we'll see Leeds United at Elland Road. They will entertain Brentford. It will be Newcastle United versus Sunderland at St James's Park. Then we'll see Aston Villa at Villa Park take on West Ham United. Then I would also see Tottenham Hotspur rejuvenated, if you permit me to use that word, because they'll be able to. For Tudor, he was able to win his first match, and that was against Atletico Madrid in Champions League. And the last match in the league, they were able to at least get a point at Anfield against Liverpool. So they will take on Nottingham Forest, so more like a relegation final. So, Francis, let me start with you, and let's start with the one tonight between Bournemouth versus Manchester United.
Well, for Manchester United, it's a case of just continue what you're doing under Michael Carrick. I don't think before now any of us expected Manchester United to be in third position at this moment, because we saw when they were under Mourinho how they were struggling to win games. Even when teams go with a man down, they don't win. Or even to Newcastle also defeated Manchester United with a man down. But Michael Carrick has done a very good job, and he's taking a claim for the permanent job next season. But playing away at Bournemouth is going to be very, very difficult for United. But I'm just trying to look at the form they are in, and with Bruno Fernandes continuing to get that assist, I feel the quality will just be too much for Bournemouth tonight.
Let's see how things pan out there, because Bournemouth, this a side that most time they prove to be very stubborn, because at least Liverpool fans can tell, Chelsea fans can tell, even though they were able to defeat Bournemouth, but they know that it was not easy. Even as now fans, you ask them, they'll tell you that, man, those people, no easy. You don't just go and feel like it's your right to win them. You have to earn it. I know Manchester United, they have to bring their E-game, else almost they'll suffer it. And if you want to play in the Champions League, you want to finish in the top 4 or top 5, as some might have it, then you have to at least, no matter how, just try and win these matches against teams like Bournemouth. But I'm glad I'd like you to analyze the one between Chelsea versus Everton at the Dickinson Park.
Well, for Chelsea FC, it's been a little bit of a disappointing week on the back of that humiliating this defeat to Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League, and they've also dropped a little bit of momentum in the Premier League as well, losing that other game at the Stamford Bridge to Newcastle United. They will be hoping to get back to winning ways and at least strengthen their position in that top 4 battle, but it wouldn't be easy facing this Everton side, because you look at Everton, they are one of the giant killers. They come in when you're really fighting for something and they come and spoil the party. So it's really difficult. Do you look at the inconsistency of Chelsea FC? It's really difficult telling which game they will be able to win or not. But against Everton, I really can't say Chelsea will go there and get 3 points. But it could play out as a draw. But if Chelsea wins, definitely wouldn't be a surprise to anyone.
Yeah, it won't be a surprise. And Francis talked about Chelsea too, because well, I think last week after the humiliation against Paris Saint-Germain, most people have came out to call out Liam Rossonol, and then for some, they feel like the board should go, that they are not giving the fans what the fans expected, that they've known Chelsea to be fighting for the biggest trophies and not just for business sake. Of course, football is all about the business. Under Roman Abramovich, you see Chelsea buying the best players and then competing for the major trophies. But under this new management, it's all about signing the best young players, 18-year-olds mostly. I'm above 18, else who knows, I could have been signed. But signing these young players and then waiting for them to get more value and then sell them, that has been the target. And Chelsea fans have not really been happy about it.
Well, when you look at the recruitment, I don't think anyone should be surprised. When you sign young players, what do you expect? They are still learning. There will be mistakes. You saw the mistake that Sarr did in the second leg against PSG. This mistake will always be there. That consistency will never be there. That's one thing with young players. But they will win you games. Certainly you see them winning games, but that consistency won't be there. But for Chelsea, I think they are even lucky to still be in 6th position with how inconsistent they've been so far this season. And the information I got is that in the next round of the Champions League, Europa League and Conference League, a draw from any English side will seal that 5th automatic spot for the UCL places next season, which means that's a lifeline for them. And with the way Aston Villa are going, they might miss out. So they still have a chance of making to the UCL next season, but they have to be consistent. Taking on Everton tomorrow will be very tough. These are the kind of games you have to win if you want to play in the Champions League. And we don't know, Manchester United might drop point today. So if you win tomorrow, you are closing it. So it's a tough one for Chelsea tomorrow, but I just, being a fan also, I hope they win. But being realistic, it's going to be tough. But Everton, so far this season, they've not been really good at home. If you check their result this season, they better when they go away. We saw how they almost draw against Arsenal, but when they come home, somehow they struggle. I don't know, maybe because of say new guy, they are not used to the Hill Dickinson Stadium yet. But Chelsea, anytime they Chelsea Everton is a strong game. But like Glada said, it's going to be tough. It's hard seeing Chelsea winning that game, but if they win, none of us will be surprised.
Of course.
Yeah, it won't be a surprise. Chelsea defeating Everton, but Liverpool against Brighton too, another difficult one at Anfield. Brighton played very well, but they end up losing the match 2-0 against Liverpool. But let's see if we would see. You don't know the Liverpool to expect. That's the problem with Liverpool. You don't know if you see the Liverpool against Galatasaray in the first leg or the one against Galatasaray in the second leg. You never can tell. But let's move to the Spanish La Liga quickly, and let's take the fixtures that will be played over the weekend. And we'll start with the one between Villarreal versus Real Sociedad. We'll see Elche take on Mallorca. It will be Espanyol versus Getafe. Levante will take on Real Oviedo. It will be Osasuna versus Girona. The pretenders, I always add that to Girona because after that fluke, I've not heard anything from them. Sevilla versus Valencia. It will be Barcelona versus Real Vallecano. Congratulations to FC Barcelona. They're winning that one. Just take it anyway. I'll see Celta Vigo versus Alaves. It will be Athletic Club versus Real Betis. I'll see Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. Madrid derby, Francis. So,
for Real Madrid, sad news for them. Thibaut Courtois is out for almost 6 weeks.
Massive.
But then, I think one team struggle like when they play at the Real Madrid. Are they at home or are we?
They are at home at the Bernabeu.
Okay, at the Bernabeu. Just fancy Real Madrid to get. But if they were going away at the Metropolitano one, that would have been very difficult because their pitch is somehow, it's not really smooth, so teams find it very difficult. But for Real Madrid, knowing fully well that if they would, you are saying that Barcelona has already won. I don't think so. You have to win it on the pitch.
So are you
We've seen them drop points.
We know, but now are you sticking out your neck for Real Vallecano that they will get a point against Barcelona?
I'm not sticking out my neck, but anything is possible. That's football for you. We've seen them drop points against teams that
we know anything is possible.
Drop points.
Is it also possible for Manchester United to win the league? Mathematically, it's possible, but then you know that it's difficult.
Yes, it's possible mathematically, but
yes,
it's difficult.
The odds clearly favors FC Barcelona in this match, and honestly, I expect it to be one-way traffic. If we're looking at the game Barcelona played against Newcastle United, I saw a very dominant FC Barcelona. If they can replicate that kind of performance,
first half was not dominant.
It wasn't dominant, of course, but that's what champions they do. You have to come back.
See, Francis, I'm not surprised with the way he's sounding because it's more like a Yamal agent.
Okay.
The Yamal is paying him. So
I'm a fan of beautiful football, and I love teams.
And Yamal.
And Yamal, beautiful football and Yamal.
But for Barcelona in this encounter, I really do expect them to get the job done because for them, they'll be looking at that game against between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, and it will really be an encouraging sign for them to get all 3 points. Because for Real Madrid to be tough getting it done against Atletico, because it's a derby match, regardless of where that game is being played. Yeah. Atletico, if they are coming in with their A game, they can get a result against any team. So I still feel like it's an opportunity for FC Barcelona to extend the point difference to 6 to 7 points at this point, because they are currently 4 points ahead. And I don't see a better chance for them to extend it when you're facing a Rayo Vallecano that has not really been fantastic as well. So I fancy Barca to get the job done.
Okay, fancy Barca to get the job done. I do too. But let's finally talk about the Italian Serie A, and where we'll see some matches. And we'll see Cagliari take on Napoli. That match will be played today. And we'll also see Genoa versus Udinese. That match too would be played today. Tomorrow we'll see Parma take on Cremonese. It will be AC Milan versus Torino. Juventus will take on Sassuolo. Como 1907 Sex Fabregas are doing very well. They'll take on Pisa and not Pizza. We'll see Atalanta versus Verona. Bologna will take on Lazio. Roma versus Lecce. Fiorentina versus table toppers Inter Milan. So those are the matches we'll see. So Inter Milan versus Fiorentina, Francis.
Well, for Fiorentina, they are fighting for their life. Last time out, they managed to win. And when you play a side that they are fighting to escape the drop at this stage of the season, it's very, very difficult. But Inter, they know what they are after. It's Scudetto.
Yeah,
and playing at home at the San Siro, you expect them to win. But I expect Fiorentina to put up a very good fight. But we just want to give it to Inter because they are playing at home. So I feel Inter will get all 3 points.
Okay, and I'm glad AC Milan versus Torino.
For AC Milan, I don't know, they've just been unable to at least keep the title race and the Serie A interesting, because it seems like Inter Milan, they are just running away with it. But this game against Torino is a little bit tricky. For Torino, they are not really fighting for much at this point. They are 14th on the log, not like they are really into the relegation battle. But for AC Milan, based on their form, it's difficult telling. But I do fancy them because the game will be played at San Siro, so you want to expect them to get the job done.
Okay, we expect them to get the job done, but that will be the size of our package for today. We'll call it a wrap today, and but we'll do well to bring you more content. But please, if you forgot to click the like button or subscribe, please do well to subscribe. And I'd always like to always tell you that Nigeria Live TV is officially open for business. If you're looking to boost your brand through paid adverts or sponsorship, we are ready to partner with you. You can reach us right now via call or WhatsApp on our studio line 0812-9340-000. 0812-9340-000. I was very slow on that. And for physical consultations, visit our head office at number 122 in Biama Yenagua Road, Amarata, Yenagua, Bayelsa State. And don't forget to stay connected. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and X at Nigeria Live TV, or visit our website at www.nigerialivetv.com. My name is Appah. Please do well to enjoy the rest of your holidays. Thank you.